Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Julie, this is Julie's Tarot reading. Excuse me, just going to take a sip of water. Today I'm doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising signs. Crosswatchers, you are welcome. I'm recording this in September. Sorry, I'm trying to take my jacket off. I'm recording this in September, but whenever you find it, it's for you. I'm going to do a couple of oracle cards to start with. If it does resonate, please give me a thumbs up or a like, or follow me on YouTube or TikTok. First of all, I'm going to get a message from the universe. I do feel like major chapters are coming to an end and it's time for you to go, but okay, the first one that's fallen out is a chapter in your life is coming to an end. Rest assured that beautiful things are ahead in this next chapter. Let go of all things that are out of control and move forward. There are more beautiful things ahead than you could ever believe. Sorry, I've read that wrong. Things ahead that any you leave behind. Okay, cool. And the next card I'm going to pull, the next deck I'm going to pull from will be the Fortune Oracle. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, the card that's fallen out is the Lovers. 1 and 8 is 9. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. I think that could be in work or love, really. It's not specified either. If you are with somebody and you meet somebody else, you're going to have to make a choice. If you are not with anybody and you're not particularly bothered, you're single and you're quite happy being single, then again, another choice whether you engage in that relationship. If it's a job that's not satisfying you, again, it's saying here, you know, chapters are coming to an end, so it could be in work as well. Maybe it's time to leave that behind and move into something new. 1 and 8 in numerology, obviously that's going to be 9. It always gets rounded down to a single digit. And 9s are, you know, the universe wants you to currently take a look at where you're standing. Observe anything that's happening in your life to see what changes might be necessary. And the number 9 stands for completion. This might be the sign that a specific area of your life is coming to a close and new possibilities are waiting for you. You know, life is about cycles, and 9s are at the end of the cycle. In numerology, there isn't a 10. Any two digits will always be rounded down to 1. So next year being 2026, 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. And rounding it down to 1 digit makes it 1. So it's a 1 universal year next year. 2025, 2, 2 and 5 is 9. So this is a 9 universal year. But it's about doors closing. You know, when one door closes, another opportunity arises that presents itself to make your life even better. And raise you to the next level. So don't let fear sort of control you or get a hold of you. You know, have faith that everything will work out for the better. As long as you keep listening to your inner voice, listen to your, I mean, I just saw the High Priestess in my mind's eye. So as long as you're listening to your intuition and listen to the signs, watch the signs, you will always find the right path. I'm going to use this deck to get a little bit of information regarding the chapter that's coming to an end and what new chapter is opening for you here, and then about the decisions. Okay. All right, I'm just going to do this another shuffle. Okay, so the 3 cards that have fallen out was the Queen of Swords. This is a very strong-minded, analytical woman, but it's also about, she's an honest lady. She doesn't really let emotions get involved in it. And Pisces, we are emotional beings. And sometimes our emotions throw us off track. So I feel in this card, they're telling you that to leave the emotions out of it. just be honest with yourself, be honest with others, and expect people and respect yourself. Have your boundaries. If people don't come towards you correctly, then you cut them off. Unfortunately, Pisces are not that. It's not that simple for Pisces, because our emotions always sort of go, oh, but they could change, or but oh god, what did they really mean? I mean, and we tend to sort of glorify it or fantasize it, and it isn't often like that. I'm guilty of it myself, so okay. So Queen of Swords, boundaries, clear thinking, honesty and communication. Now, you did also get the Devil pop out. This can be about codependency, habits, maybe a belief that is really not true. We might believe that we're not very worthy of something, but that's not true. We might feel we need someone, but actually, really, we don't. We just think we do. So maybe a habit or a perception or a belief or a codependent relationship that needs to be left behind. And then you have the Fool that fell out, which I'm so glad to see, because the Fool is about taking a risk. Yes, with the mountains in the background, you can see there will be more challenges ahead, but you're doing it with a pure heart and a light load. The dog is warning, not to take silly risks, but we are travelling light. Sorry to say we, the royal we. And a feather in the cap. This is about passion and spontaneity. And this is really about being very clear on and honest with yourself where you want to go and what needs to be left behind, and starting a new journey. Let's ask the cards what it is actually that needs to be left behind. Is this work? Is this love? Or is it both? Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups upright. So I feel like, again, we mustn't let our emotions rule us, but then we can't be all head, all analytical. So I feel like there needs to be a balance here of head and heart. Consult your emotions, but balance it with logical thought about whether this is really serving you. I mean, I will tell you a secret. I am a smoker, and I have been trying for years to stop. This year, I promised myself would be my last year. And I'm kind of getting there, but I'm still not there. But I'm very, very aware that this is a very bad, toxic habit that needs to go, because I know there's a new journey for me in 2026, being a one universal year. It's fresh new year. A fresh new cycle. So if you kind of could liken it to that, then that might make some more sense for you. I'm just going to push this back a bit because I don't want it to go outside of the frame. Okay, so it could be that you need to leave some old emotional baggage behind and look at it more analytical. It could be that you need to leave a perception or a habit behind, again looking at this very analytically. But once you do, there is a new journey ahead. And I feel if there's any fear or doubt there, the card is, the message from the universe is, there's more beautiful things ahead than what you're leaving behind. Let's get one or two more, please. You've got the Seven of Cups. So you've got some decisions to make, and you might be worried about making a decision. What if I make the wrong decision? Because in these cups are lots of different things. You've got a mask, so there could be lies. You've got I think it's a dragon. I don't know what that would represent, but then you've got jewels, and you've got people, but you've got a snake and a wreath. So it kind of looks like a 50-50 choice. And quite honestly, I feel like you need to listen to your intuition to get the right answers. And also, if we don't make a choice, we're going to remain stagnant. And the next two cards that have come out is the Two of Wands. This is planning. And again, making decisions. You've already planted one wand. Now you need to make a choice or a plan to go. And it's also about life path decisions. And then the last card was the World. Closing out chapters, coming full circle. The cycle is complete, basically. It isn't really specifying whether it's love or work, but you'll know your story. because everybody's on a different timeline, everybody's on a different journey. Some people have reached a level where they can now sort of ascend a bit higher, go to the next level. Other people are not quite there and maybe need a bit more, a bit longer. All right, so I'm going to grab a different deck. I'm going to look into the Lovers. Ooh, bottom of the deck, the Tower, so something coming in quite quickly and quite unexpectedly. Whenever we see the Tower upright, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's just about something that you may not have been expecting, but it doesn't have to be bad. It could be a nice surprise, but whatever it is, it's dropping in out of the blue, and you know, there's no stopping it really. Oh my goodness, and we've got the World again. So with the Lovers, again, oh my goodness, so with the Two of Wands being a life path decision, to close out a chapter, let something go, but balance your head and heart to have a new journey. And there we are, leaving things behind. Now you have the Lovers about choice. It can be about soulmates, but it really, the Lovers is about choice. It's a Gemini card, and there's two people standing in the card. Which way are you going to go? Again, another choice. Let's to close out another chapter. Whoop. And then we have the Five of Cups. This is about grieving, loss, sadness, a loss of something being. But if you look behind the person, if they would just turn around, they could see that the two cups are still remaining. This is what you've lost. This is what's spilt. And the two cups still remain. So there's still hope. You see the person's dressed in black, so clearly a grieving process. And then you have the Ten of Swords. But this one's, I've got two Tens of Swords in this deck. Everything will be fine. So when we get the Ten of Swords, the 10 is it. It's done. It's over. There's no going back. So swords are about thoughts. So you have come to a final conclusion on a matter that maybe you've been ruminating in your head, but it's done. It might be painful to be honest with yourself and admit it, but it's done. And the fact that the Ten of Swords comes under these two cards about sadness, making choices to close chapters and move on. Tell me about the World, please. Okay, so you've got the Temperance. The Temperance is an angel, but you can see 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the earth. So, and you can see she's pouring fluid from water from each cup. So this is a flow of feelings, a flow of conversation, being very much in balance with your spiritual side, your earth side, you know, so it's keeping yourself in balance. And I feel like when you've made this decision, when you've finally closed the chapter on any sadness or disappointment, you've made a decision, whether it be to go to another job or to leave a partner and go, you know, to be single for a little while or go to another lover, that cycle is now complete. You can see there's a circle there. It's a continuous circle with no break. So it is a cycle. I think a cycle of sadness is going to be coming to an end. I feel like you'll be back in balance. I feel like this is quite possibly a personal cycle. It could be about your personal habits or beliefs, and accepting that chapters have come to an end by being honest with yourself. And the next card that fell out was the Ten of Cups. So you've got two tens here, two completions, completion of thought and a completion of emotion. So thought and emotion in balance. Anything else, please, Spirit? You got the Lovers again, and we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like this is you. It's not just about money. In general, it's about learning, studying, building, creating something new. And I feel like it's after closing a cycle of sadness and accepting that it has come to an end, you're making a decision to work towards your happiness. And you're feeling much more balanced. What else have we got, please, Spirit? You might not know where you're going, and you might be a little bit... can't believe this. You might be a little bit worried, but when I've split the deck, you've got the Two of Wands again. This is another decision. So we just had a full moon. I think it was a solar eclipse, and we've also got another solar eclipse later in the month. So this could happen in either of those times. So again, planning, life path decisions, and there with the Wheel of Fortune, again, the cycle is moving. So where this person's on top now, when the circle moves, they might be on the bottom and this person might be up the top. So it's a continual circle. There's no break in this. So I feel like any decisions about, you might be worried about letting go of something. You could be holding on to something that you're kind of frightened to let go of. I mean, I know sometimes people worry that when they let go of a belief, or they change their eating habits or their living accommodation, it's, especially if it's a belief that you've had for a very, very long time, it's part of who you are. And some people question, well, who will I be without that? What kind of person will I be without that? You've got the Nine of Pentacles. So you're going from the 8 to the 9, so you are growing and building. The 9 is about abundance, having reached a certain level in your money, or even in your own growth, personal growth, and being quite happy. You could be single, you could decide to be single until this next person comes in. But it's certainly about enjoying, reaping the rewards of your efforts, which you clearly put into here. And I feel it is about personal transformation. It is about life path decisions, letting go of things that don't serve you, being honest with yourself, touching in with feelings and thoughts together, making a choice. But the best way to make a choice is to maybe make a plan. It might not work out that way, but at least you're taking a step and moving on, closing out that cycle, and then again, closing out cycles of leaving things behind. It isn't specifying love particularly, but, and yeah, you may need to rest and protect your energy for a little while. I've got a few 7s here. They're usually divine messages, but you have got the Ace of Cups. So yeah, protect your energy for a little while. Do what you've got to do to get what you want to get. I feel this is about self-love as well. That's the highest form of love. But don't let anybody take you off track. You have got the 7 of Swords, but trust yourself. It's not just about lies and manipulation. It's about trusting yourself. And maybe you don't trust yourself to make the right decisions. You've now had 3 7s in this reading. You have the Empress as well. The Empress doesn't chase. She's very aware of her, respects herself. She knows her worth. She's very much in balance with the universe. But it's also about being ready to receive. So I feel like when you make the decision to move on, have a little bit of downtime, rest time, look after yourself, and also learn to be single again, or learn to make decisions without anybody's influence. Trust yourself. You have got happiness coming. You have got some choices to make, but don't be afraid to make the choice. There's only a 50-50 chance that you're going to get it wrong. So sometimes we have to make these mistakes to learn what we don't want. And I'm just going to get one final card just to see if there's anything else we want to tell. Pisces, bottom of the deck, the Hierophant, being committed to your values, and the Queen of Pentacles, concentrating on your money but being very grounded. This is a lady that looks after her family, looks after herself, is very reliable. She's very in tune with what she's doing. This person's very grounded. So you've now got thought, heart, and you've got the earth as well. But you've also got the sun there. I feel like you're coming into next year. We've had Saturn in Pisces for quite some time. It's major karmic lessons, transitions, and I feel like it's been a really, really heavy burden for a lot of Pisces, me included. But we're coming out of that now. I think it revisits Pisces in February for a month or so next year. But once we get over that, it's gone for good. It's in Aries after that. So I feel like you need to commit to this new beginning. Make some choices. Even if you make the wrong choice, you'll learn from it and you'll know what to do next time. And I just feel like this, Pisces have been through such a lot, and we've got the devil again, such a lot over the last, and I would say as long as 5 years, and it's been weighing on Pisces very, very heavily. It looks like now you're coming out of hangman mode. You've been suspended waiting for the answers, and I feel like the answers are coming. I mean, the choices are yours, but you do have the 9 of Cups. One more, please, Spirit, and then we'll close the reading. Yeah, you've got the 8 of Swords. Don't overthink anything. I've just heard stop standing still, so it is time to go. I hope that resonates for somebody. And you have a good day, Pisces. Take care. Bye now.